Okay, so chapter 2, we're talking about throws, right? So we looked at this with Paul, where it's about getting into the habit of looking at the shoulders and the arms and the torsos, depending on where the character, what side the character is on to. Getting in the habit of looking at the arms, breaking based on the arms and the hands that reach out to you, right? And being able to input with the correct break. Go into training mode, go to where it says display settings, where it says player frame info, go to simple display. For opponent frame info, go to simple display. When you're in the middle of a throw, they'll glow white like this, so you know you do not have control. And when you're like your normal color like this, you're in control. This will help you visually see break windows. However, this is level 2 now, and this is another character that is an absolute terror to deal with at the low levels of play, and it's the default grappler of the game. It's King. Now, there's a lot to him, but let's just start with the first thing, right? So he's another character who, like Paul, has dedicated throw breaks. However, there's a catch. First one I want you to look at is Giant Swing. Now, you'd likely be getting gripped up. They're going to grab you like this. He's going to whirl you around and throw you. And you're going to eat, what, 70 damage? However, you do have an opportunity if you get grabbed up by the Giant Swing to be able to tech on the ground. If you mash buttons, as soon as you hit the ground after the swing, you'll do a quick recovery and you'll neutralize some of the damage. Make sure you're doing that. However, there is another caveat to this attack. When King's back is to the wall and he grabs you with Giant Swing, check this. He gets a damage buff. By throwing you up against the wall, you eat more damage, and King has wall positioning on you. So now you have to play the wake-up game against him from this position. King players will use this to create a mind game with you. They know that once their back is to the wall, they get a damage buff on the Giant Swing. So look for them to try to incorporate more throws in that position. And you knowing that, you have to be anticipating them to go for it. As you play more and more, and you play other players, you will see some King players will kind of engage with you knowing that you know that, and that's when they'll go and mix it up with this option, which is a 1+2 break. This is a 1+2 break throw, Shining Wizard. Now, here's the thing. Take a look at the hands. Remember what we did with Paul? This throw, the Shining Wizard, he reaches out with both hands and you break with 1+2, correct? Again, note the window, the break window. It's just like what we did with Paul. Look at how long you have to break that. As soon as she splashes a different color, you're locked out. But while she retains the color, you can break like that. Just pressing both punch attacks. This is where King gets cheap. This is Giant Swing. Take a good look at it. Giant Swing is a 1-break throw, but take a good look at his hands. He's reaching out with both hands. Visually, you're put into a mix-up. Is he gonna Giant Swing me, or is he gonna Shining Wizard you? They look the same. So everything that you practiced against Paul, watching the hands, looking at the hands, and carefully like, okay, is it 1, is it 2, is it 1+2? Against King, he gets a passive throw buff, and it makes sense. You know, he's a grappler of the game. But you have to be weighing that anytime you see the 1+2 throw. Man, is this going to be a 1+2 break, or is this going to be a 1 break? Is he going to try to Giant Swing me? Again, remembering, and there are exceptions to this. There are like crouch grabs and stuff like that. But generally, throws, and the throws that they'll do, are high attacks. So you are able to duck those, right? However, just telling you straight up, you're not always going to duck the grab. Because that's, again, with King, he has so many mid-weapons, mid-threats. And if you duck that, you're going to get launched. And if you duck this, you're going to get hit. And he can follow up with that. Some of the throws with the commands that they have, some are a little bit more telegraphed, especially at lower level. So, for example, like the Giant Swing input, right? Because it's a forward tap and then a half circle forward, if you're watching your opponents very closely, if they stutter like that, you know that there's probably a good chance they're going to try to go for a throw. So that might help you out. But this is, of course, going to get harder the higher level you get, because King players with their movement will be very, very adept at hiding and masking their inputs and surprising you with throws. Fundamental mix-up between Giant Swing and Shining Wizard like this. Again, note the hands. They look the same. This is so cheap. So anytime you're getting gripped up and he's putting both hands out there like that, you have to decide, man, do I think it's going to be a Shining? Do I think it's going to be one of the other 1+2s? Do I think it's going to be a 1? He has a built-in throw mix-up. and you're gonna get gripped up. That's just how it is. They picked this character for a reason. They want to put hands on you. It's important to recognize when you see both hands go out like they're like that, it's a guess. You have to guess. The important thing is don't just mash indiscriminately, but you're putting a guess. Make a decision. Tijuana Twister is an example where this is a dedicated 2 break. You see he reaches out with his right hand. This is not part of the true throw mix-up, but it is, again, a dedicated break. Take you to Tijuana real quick, but he reaches out with the right hands, visualize it, see it, react. There. But you see the right hand, you press the right hand button. It's that simple. This is a 1 grab. You'll see this one as well. A lot of these lead to good Oki as well. But you can see as soon as the character starts to flash, that's the end of your window. And again, treat it similar to the way you were looking at it with Paul, where it's okay to be right and late rather than just mashing indiscriminately or being wrong, you know, or guessing. You don't want to be guessing. You want to try to, with these throws, at least be trying to be on the lookout for the, you know, his posture or whatever. These are common throw engagements that he'll force on you. And this one is also broken by 1+2. So it's both punch buttons. You can see it. He reaches out with both hands. This is part of his ultimate tackle, like Paul, right? He could go leg lock, which is broken with both kick buttons. This is a unique one. Since leg lock has a lot of damage behind it, a lot of players will probably try to be going for that. So be ready to boot up training mode, take a look at where your break windows are, be ready to put 3+4, both of your kick buttons out there as a means of trying to protect against that. The whole point is he has a lot of throws. You have to familiarize yourself with the most common ones and kind of just get a sense for when your throw break windows are and what to be looking for.